play with Goddess. That was a team that played basically all of their career together. Now they have split up. Goddess has a new teammate of Vital, and Shadoww is, of course, playing with Dummy. I'm feeling actually really good about this team of Shadoww and Dummy. I predicted them to be in second place because they've been grinding in the offseason. Like 5 hours of practice every day. VOD reviews, replay analysis, scrims, so many important things that good 2v2 teams need to do to stay the best. So I'm feeling really good about Dummy and Shadoww.
See those plan tags? Dupes is Sparky is wrong, and the other one for Shadoww is 4 Flambeau. Like, all right, look at the commentator loves out here. I like to see it. I like to see it. Either way,
Dooblakek definitely thought I underrated him in Rygunduz when Dooblakek has placed out of top 8 more often than inside of top 8.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here with this match. I mean, if he loses here, then you can be like, well, you know?
Yep.
So, like, I'm still right.
It would still be a good place, though.
Yeah.
Like it would still be inside of top 8, a little bit deep in the top 8, so it would still be a huge accomplishment for Dooblakek and Rygunduz. Rygunduz, this relatively new team. And, I mean, so far we're even. The blue team has a little bit of a lead, but I mean little. I mean little eensy-teensy weens.
Yeah, it's a baby lead, especially when you have this damage on Brawlhalla. I mean, it doesn't matter if you put her in defense stance. It's still a relatively low defense. So, I mean, he's making it work, though. The one good thing about Brawlhalla is that, one, she's, like, super quick, has very nice sigs, and, like, has 2 good weapons that are good for stringing things together. You know, that axe and that sword. Real easy to start to, like, run away with some stuff. Gets a little overzealous with the side sig, though, and takes one to the back of the dome. Right there with that side air. Gonna go ahead and lose that stock. Still though, I mean, it took a while. So this lead is still small, but it's still on their side by a bit, you know?
And you saw Shadoww really wanting to hold on to that lead while Dummy was spawning back in. He was just dipping. He was completely out of there. Didn't even want to engage at all. Nice ground pound from Dummy, grabbing the double KO there. Blue team definitely in the lead, putting out some more damage here. You heard all of those axe hits.
Yeah, oh, God. That looked like an instant stock, man. Like that man got comboed like 2 times and then took a Brawlhalla side stick to the face. Yeah, you're pretty much out of there. So that is going to. We're gonna seal the first game on this one for sure. Like this will be the craziest comeback of all time. I'm sure that people have done it, but this is. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that second game. How about that?
This one went from like really even to all of a sudden somebody turned the steamroll on and is ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not making that one back. Okay, easy game right there for the blue team. Straight up domination. The damage that Dummy put out. I mean, he went Dummy with the damage for sure. You know what I'm saying? 613 here. Only taking 266. Got to give it up for him.
Yeah, he was like Mr. Slithery Snake moving in around everything. Didn't hardly get hit whatsoever. And if you're a Brawlhalla and you're not getting hit, like that's awesome. If you're a Brawlhalla who's not getting hit and putting out hits because of that high strength, because of those great signatures, really hard-hitting signatures that can find those like later orange kills that can cover a lot of space on the stage. Like you're doing so good if you can do that with Brawlhalla.
Yeah. So I mean, that was just straight up domination right there from. They got to bring something new to the table for sure. And we do get something new with the stage pick as we swap over, getting away from Mammoth. And let's see if this works out for him though. I mean, This stage, I feel like this is a stage where you're basically saying, I want to fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's a smaller stage. The walls aren't as big either, so it's a little easier to kind of go off and do something about your edge guards. And you're playing 2v2, so there's really it becomes an even smaller stage with the amount of people on here. You're saying that you want to fight for sure.
Yeah, we'll see who is better at taking advantage of that edge. Of course, Rygunduz does have the hammer as an option on the edge. The final frames of that side signature from Shadoww ended up hitting Rygunduz there. He's already in the orange. Red team, a little bit worse for wear here, but Dummy does have to be careful. Might not survive quite as long. Hits a raw unarmed side heavy, sending Rygunduz over to the edge. Blue team doesn't really capitalize too much. Some team damage came in that sent Rygunduz to the left. Now Dooblakek is on the left. Now Rygunduz is on the left. Dooblakek is dead. I can't imagine Rygunduz is going to last too much longer, but he does! Finds the unarmed ground pound.
Yeah, a little overextension right there from this Brawlhalla. Also went for a side air that was entirely too low. I think maybe going for recovery would have been the wave, but oh wow, the combo on that. I don't even know if that was on purpose, but it looked, I'm going to say it was because it looked like it, so go ahead. Give it up to the red team as they are now taking a slight lead, and I think that just got sapped away.
It seemed like Dummy just thought that he was so safe on that left edge. Like he was just kind of like sitting there waiting for things to happen to him, and then all of a sudden something actually did happen to him, and he was no longer in control, just like that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I felt like he should have been able to recover. I think he had kind of psyched himself out there. Let me go ahead and look at the instant replay. Yep, nope. Okay, so he thought he touched the wall, but he was entirely too late. And then try to air dodge, but he was way under the stage by that time, so it does not seem to matter. Unfortunate, though. Lost that stock, and that looks like that is kind of leading to the blue team's momentum really just starting to rack up right now.
Rygunduz coming out with the D-Sig. Could be the game-changing moment that the red team needs, or at least the start of one. The recovery coming out actually finds the KO. Rygunduz kept that interaction going out of hit stun, got the KO off the top.
Oh.
Dooblakek somehow gets out of that. They find the KO onto Dummy. It's now 2 stocks to 2, but Dooblakek and Rygunduz, oh man, that neutral signature almost KO'd Dooblakek, and they did find the KO on Rygunduz. Dooblakek very red in this 1v2 situation. Sword recovery not quite enough to KO off the top, but the spear recovery will. Shadoww started the gravity cancel taunt, and that's gonna be that game.
Man, that down sig from Brawlhalla, man, always feels nice to hit. Just a quick swipe. Doesn't even look like it's supposed to be that strong, but no, you go flying. And a perfect angle too, man. Any angle, I feel like any angle that's not sending up is always a good angle in games like in platform fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna force people to have to like really just go straight for recovery instead of like trying to mix it up, because they don't have all that stage space over the stage to work with. Like you get sent to the right, usually is burn.
And you don't have the option to throw the weapon toss down to give yourself a little bit of room to get back. You just kind of have to go over to the wall, while your opponent is either sitting on the wall, not worried about anything, or they're sitting on the stage, not worried about anything. So yeah, I definitely agree. Having to recover from the left or the right side can be really, really tough.
Okay.
So going into this next game, the red team's going to have to find something. The score is definitely not in their favor, and Dummy's been consistently coming out on top of the blue team. Not that Shadoww is necessarily doing too many things wrong, or very many things wrong at all, but it's just been Dummy like overperforming, which is fantastic for this team when Shadoww has been the higher placing 2v2 player for virtually all of his career. So Dummy, despite having like not the best statistics for this, is definitely having a really good showing so far in the Winter Championship. So it looks like for this next one, we're not seeing any character swaps whatsoever. We're seeing this Bodvar versus the Koji from the red team, and then the Bryn versus the Jala on the blue team. Stance-wise, we're seeing defense for both members of the blue team. We also see that from Dooblakek as well. That's going to take him from 4 to 5. It's going to take Dummy from 3 to 4. It's going to take Shadoww from 5 to 6. Meanwhile, Rygunduz is fine with 5 defense. It's a solid amount of defense to have. Going to put a little bit more in strength, looking for that KO power. We'll see if he can use the D-Sig on Sword. We saw a lot of that last week in EU, but we haven't seen too much of it so far today from Rygunduz. We saw like 1 D-Sig earlier right on the corner. Unfortunately for the red team, it didn't end up hitting, but we might be seeing a character swap here from Dooblakek. We saw the hover onto the Lin Fei. I think Dooblakek is just showing all of the characters that he has unlocked on his account. Maybe also likes to hear that beautiful train whistle coming out here while we're just taking a moment to think about what we want to do. Changing his title as well. He does have the Winter Watcher title. That's a very cool title. Actually taking it off. Now just Mashing wants to hear that train whistle. So let's talk about Dummy and Shadoww for just a moment before this game kind of gets started, while we're waiting on them to start this one out. If you're looking at some of Dummy's stats, they're really not that impressive compared to Shadoww's. Of course, Dummy is a very good player, but if you're looking at some of these in 2s, they're kind of all over the place. At Winter Championships a year ago, got 17th place. At Spring Championships, got 25th. At Summer Championships, got 7th. And then at Combo Breaker, dropped to 13th, then back to 7th for low tier, but then in Steel Series got 33rd. So we're seeing some kind of inconsistencies there, at least in the early to middle of last year. Then you bring it towards the end, and we're seeing Autumn Championships come in 5th, Mammoth Cup's coming 7th, and then BCX coming 5th. Meanwhile, on the other side, Shadoww is coming in with regular top 6. Winter Champs 2nd, Spring 3rd, Summer 3rd, Combo Breaker 5th, but low tier 2nd, Steel 3rd, Autumn Championships 3rd, Mammoth Cup 4th, BCX 3rd. So really consistent placements coming out from Shadoww. I don't know exactly how these two came together and how they decided that they were going to play with each other, but they're playing with each other really, really well. I'm loving that so far from them. Now, because this is Winter Championships, it is, like, we kind of harped on this a lot last week. It is one of the more interesting tournaments because you really never know what can happen because there's been such a large gap in the off-season, like a 3-month off-season coming from the World Championships all the way to Winter Championships. From the World to Winters. You have so many teams that, like, they finish Worlds and they've been grinding for Worlds and they play Worlds and they're just like, I'm going to chill for a bit. I'm going to chill. I'm going to maybe take a step back from Brawlhalla, and I'm going to wait till next season starts up. But then you also have your grinders. That's Shadoww and Dummy. They said they've been playing like 5 hours of practice every day. That's awesome. It's also a little bit crazy, but awesome. VOD review, sparring, replay analysis, all of these like high-level practice techniques that I love to see out of Shadoww and Dummy, even in just the off-season. Season hasn't even started, and they already have these very high-level practice techniques.
It's paying off, though. I mean, look at those last 2 games. You know what I mean? If they're practicing this much and they're actually dominating this part of the bracket like this, I mean, that's the type of stuff you want to see. That's the stuff that makes, like, that you show people when they're like, man, what does practice do? This is what practice does. Look at the way these guys are playing right now. I mean, just the teamwork looks so phenomenal. The way that they're positioned around the stage, the way their team combos are, the way they're covering each other, just phenomenal. Good stuff.
Now, what I'm really curious is if they end up winning and moving on past this, they're going to fight Clem and Shadowfish, who actually sent them down into the loser's bracket. I am so curious how that set went. The fact that Dummy and Shadoww were playing this well, and they found themselves in the loser's bracket. So we're back on Apocalypse, small map, definitely went the way of the blue team the last time. I don't think anybody will disagree with that, but it's going the way of the red team so far. Shadoww has to be very careful. Might get KO'd here. Nice D-Light Dare recovery coming out from Dummy.
He tried to double tap him here at the top with that recovery, but didn't get enough juice on it to go ahead and send him past the blast zone. One thing, though, is like, this is kind of like how it happened in the first game, though. The red team actually did have a pretty good open for the game. It just, after a while, that whole momentum got sapped from them. So a good open still happening for them right here as they got the 2 stocks off the blue team already with not much damage here on to do. Okay.
You gotta be, oh man, you gotta be so worried. If you're the red team, you have a nice lead here, but you see those double axes coming out from the blue team. You know how quickly that can be taken away. Rygunduz does spawn into the game, has the hammer, a lot of damage coming out. You're hearing all of those axe hits. Look how far Dooblakek got sent. There's the ground pound. That will likely be a KO. Oh, he wasn't able to save his teammate there. Dummy was just putting too much pressure.
Yeah, but that's his first stock, though. He should be all right. I mean, they still have a pretty good lead here as far as the damage goes. Everyone damaged except for Dooblakek. Looking real good yet again. Now he's got, oh, nice. Good down stick right there as Tommy Mac comes out, but taking a little 3-piece. Oh, he tries to go up there and get sky high with it. Unfortunately, only lands a side air instead of what probably could have been a recovery. Oh! Did he hit that? Oh, he didn't hit that. Okay. I thought he hit that. I thought he hit that that down light afterward. That probably would have popped him back up, so it was probably better that he didn't hit that. At first, it looked like a down air, which would have been a nice little conversion off the recovery into a down air to send him at an even harder angle, but Jesus, that stock's going to be gone too. Now, this definitely looking like it's in the red team's favor. However, as I say that, Dooblakek now getting put to the red and almost off the map.
Yeah, he got hit by that.
Oh, he is off the map.
That is going to KO him. That's that really high strength coming out of the Jolly. You saw how far he got sent. It's not like he had 200 damage on that stock. He was orange, maybe the beginning stages of red, and that ended up leading to a KO. That's going to be that high strength from that Jala axe coming out here. We're even on stocks. Shadow's going to have to play very carefully, though. We're about 2.5 minutes into this game, taking more damage. None of them have been KO moves yet, so he hasn't been sent too far away from his teammate.
Okay. Hold on, man. So this Jala is the one that is hurt the most right now. But oh my God, and now she's sent out. About to get a double send out. He could definitely still do, oh my, weaving through that just barely. He could definitely still do this, man. This is like, what is going on?
I think he must have been expecting maybe the immediate high recovery from Dummy. The unarmed side air is going to send Dummy over on the left side. Recovery coming out from Rygunduz, but it does miss. Dummy has a real, oh, that sent him so far. He's going to have to burn so much. The second weapon toss is there to clean it up. That is Dooblakek and Rygunduz fighting their way back into this. Now it's 1-2 as we head into game 4.
Yeah, man, Dooblakek almost putting his boy out though with that, neutral sig. Luckily, he didn't have just like another just another tint of damage right there, and that probably would have been the stock. But either way, they managed to get himself a game here. So that's looking good for them. They don't want to be sent out of this tournament. They don't want to be sent packing yet, so they're fighting their way back up. Or are we going to get a 3-1 situation here? They're getting rid of Apocalypse. Looks like they're definitely done with Apocalypse. We're going to Miami Dome. Here we go.
That was an extremely close game. If we were on any other map that had like maybe bigger walls or maybe more just like main stage left and right area to play on, we could have easily seen Dummy take that. All it would take is a couple stray Sairs and the red team was done, but they were able to hold on to it. They controlled the edges on the end of the game there. There's the neutralite. Oh, the team combo, but it's on Dummy with a member of the blue team. Great follow-up coming out of the red team, but Shadoww is going back to back from one red team member to the other.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, what?
Another shot right there. Yeah, what's going on,
those
man?
Neutral signatures, man. Maybe be a little bit more careful with those. Oh, Dooblakek, is he going to be taken out this early? A lot of hits were taken. Dummy ended up getting hit by his teammate, but still was able to make it back. Still looking for the KO. There's another ground pound from Rygunduz that's able to get the KO there. He's nailed a couple of those that have been really nice.
Yeah, I mean, he continues to do that, though. He keeps putting himself in a situation where, like, he's trying to do a lot off the stage, but then he ends up getting jumped over and then ground pounded, or probably most likely going for, like, a side air, but just doesn't like. Whoa!
Oh, no. This is not the right time for that to happen. Dummy ends up running off the left side. Is there still disconnection issues? I think this is a South America sign to stop playing because Dummy is lagging. We're seeing attacks coming out. I'm guessing that means it's okay. The taunt confirms that we are back in this. Dummy having some connection issues there. I'm not sure. Might still be having connection issues. We saw that kind of wild nair. Not sure what that was really aiming at. So Dummy might still be having some lag issues. That's the nature of online video games as we know it. But they're going to do their best to fight back into this. Oh, no. He's going to run off again. The red team basically has a victory here because Dummy ran off the edge 2 times. That's so brutal here.
Oh, man. It's so sad looking, too, because you can, like, just the grin on Jala's face that she's just flying, just sliding to her doom. Like, oh, no. So, yeah, he's got to do this whole fight by himself. And, I mean, you know, facts have happened. But I feel like that's demoralizing more than anything. Like y'all were probably in a good spot to take this in a 4-game set, but because of your teammate, internet kind of messing up right now, like, and now you're in this 2v1, and that's gonna suck. Yeah, I don't think he's making that one back yet. Gets pulled up, but hold on now. That's a stock going too. This could just be a crazy one-on-one.
It is winnable. Shadoww, strong 1v1 player as well. Behind about a half a stock, Rygunduz is in the orange here, but that, like, talk about demoralizing. That is so scary going forward because you never know when it's going to happen. At least we're going into a game 5 situation here if the red team comes out on top. But, I mean, we may not even need it. Shadoww might take the dub here.
He's playing.
Oh, no!
Okay, yeah, I got to get back on that wall real quick. I was ready to say, don't go out like this, man. This is the Hammer Classic.
Shadoww going to control the weapons here, going back to the axe, wants that hard-hitting side air. Doesn't need necessarily the consistency of the spear because Shadoww is able to space, is able to find that side air. 1 or 2 hits, and Shadow's basically tied with Rygunduz here. Neutral light, goes for the side light immediately after, doesn't have the option to deny the weapon.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is straight up even now. You know what I mean? Like that. You said he was about a half a stock ahead, and that was 1,000% factual. But now he's looking like he's about to be half a stock behind.
Yep.
If he found that another hit. Ooh.
Oh, the D-Sig! He finally
minute.
finds it! The down air. No weapon toss.
Yeah.
Goes for the ground pound. The dodge came out from Shadoww, and it wasn't going to save him there. I think what happened was he ended up touching the wall, which of course cancels the iframes. I don't think he got the full iframes of the dodge there. That was a ground pound from Rygunduz. That is going to give them the victory, and we're going to game 5. Shadoww did 700 damage that game. Dummy, unfortunately, before basically the double disconnect, was only able to put out 143, man. That's so tough.
Yeah, man. I mean, Shadoww, like, if he really fought that one well, too, to have to do a 2v1 with 2 stocks against 3. And although Dooblakek, I don't know what he did with the stock. I think he went a little crazy out there. But that it still left Rygunduz with a good lead that almost got sapped from him, though. Good pickup at the end, though, man. That's the one. That is the air dodge destroyer for sure. That side light into the down sig when someone tries to air dodge back in. Yeah, that's the air dodge destroyer for sure.
Now we do have Dummy back in the lobby. Has the Jala on hand, has the defense stance, hoping that the internet connection can hold on long enough for him to do the damage that he needs to hoist the blue team to victory with his teammate Shadoww.
We're going to find out if his internet, honestly, not even him, if his internet can hold up. Like, that's what really needs to hold up right now. Dummy's been playing well, but the internet is not. So, you know, maybe start that router real quick. Tell your mom to log off the Netflix real quick, you know, just for a set. You know, stop the microwave, whatever needs it, whatever you got to do.
That's so tough, man. I've had my internet stop working at 12:15 on the dot the past 2 nights. Right at 12:15 when I'm sitting down to watch some TV, and that is brutal. I can't imagine what it feels like to be having issues this late into a tournament with so many things on the line, and it being the beginning of the season, the stage setter for Australia here at the 2v2 Brawlhalla Winter Championship.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this here chat, man. They're going crazy. I said stop the microwave. I know there's microwave around the internet. No, it's the waves, bro.
Yep.
The waves from the microwave could be messing up your router, man. It's interference. Too
Very
many things
true.
going on.
Very true. I've never had that personally happen to me, but I know people who that has happened to.
Yeah, man. Free your mind, bro. What are y'all doing out here? You know. Anyway, like, so Shadoww and Dummy trying one more time to put this team down, but Dooblakek and Rygunduz saying absolutely not. They are fighting from the depths.
With how close the last game was and how close the game before that was, Dooblakek doesn't get to saunter around with his Sparky is wrong clan name, okay? I want to put that out there right now. He doesn't get to wag his finger and say, see, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, I was right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope that I hope that doesn't happen for you, honestly. Like, I'm not.
Thanks,
usually,
DK.
we're not supposed to be super biased.
Thanks, DK.
But today we're blue team. Let's go.
Regardless,
go,
you and me are on the same team, no matter what happens in the game. We got to support each other.
So this is a relatively even game right here, and on shipwreck too. So like, you can definitely tell that like when someone gets sent off their stage, they're trying to make sure that that stock is taken immediately. Almost ends his partner right there with that down sig.
And here we do have a map with small walls, but it's a lot longer, so there's going to be a lot more room to run around. Are they going to get the full wipe? They do. Dooblakek and Rygunduz opening up big in this game. Dooblakek still in the orange. Rygunduz has some damage on his stock, but depending on where the KO moves happen, neutral signature and the ground pound. That's going to be the KO there. Harp taunt coming out. I know people have been wanting the harp taunt buffed because it's not super loud. It was a little bit of a silent but deadly there coming out as Dummy gets the wipe.
Yeah, man, that was super clean. For the pass too. He got the pass with the neutral sig and then immediately drops over there and drops the ground pound on him. Super nice. That's what I like to see. Now, how are we going to get? Oh, they gave the neutral sig close, very close. Oh, he is scrapping him at the top right now. Gets a little extra damage up there as well. Dooblakek. Oh, Cat runs into straight another Thundercat, man. That is unfortunate. Okay, that was close.
Blue team really starting to open this game up. You see how much damage is on Rygunduz right now. A lot of damage on blue team, though. Red team still keeping themselves definitely in this game. It's going to come down to final stocks for all. Neutralite comes out. Team damage is not something they can afford. Even the Axe Neutralite, though not a KO move here, does split up the blue team a little bit. Red team all on their final stocks. Oh, a little bit of pressure coming out. The recovery still doesn't KO off the top.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. I thought that weapon toss was gonna lead into Bren being able to chase dodge and do like a recovery or something like that. But I don't know if he was expecting that or not. However, a one-stock game through and through, just barely escapes that combo, man. Lives to see another day. That's one thing Jala definitely does not want, is to be team combo, being the lightest on the defense on the stage right now.
Man,
for sure.
You see the red team doing everything they can to follow up off of one another, to add up the damage onto one player from both members of the red team, trying to knock them out as quickly as possible. Rygunduz very healthy here, definitely the healthiest so far of this game. Ooh. Now he just got knocked into orange.
Okay, nice. You saw Dooblakek try to get over there as quick as possible with that down stick too. The most distance that he can get on that sword, but still wasn't enough distance. Oh, wait, this has been an issue for a bit. If I am dummy, I am not going off stage against Rygunduz because he has got way too many ground pounds on you. And oh my God!
He almost
did it again!
He almost got it, and the save. He hit his teammate, got the chase dodge on hit. I think this might come down to the fact that the blue team has 2 axes. That weapon toss is going to end Rygunduz, and they get the KO. Disconnects be damned. Shadoww and Dummy take the victory in Game 5 and move on.
Dummy almost threw that game, bro. He almost threw that game, man. I was like, please do not get... And then it was coming, but he just did not jump high up enough or confirm it quick enough to get the ground pound. So, Dummy and Shadoww moving on. As you said, disconnects be damned. We're still in the game. That means they will be going up against... It's a rematch, right? Now it's time for a rematch.
Yep, it's a rematch. Clem and Shadowfish were the team that sent Dummy and Shadoww down into the losers bracket, and let me check. It was a Game 5 situation. It was 3-2 favoring Clem and Shadowfish. That let Clem and Shadowfish move on into the winner's side of top 8, and then they ran into the